For 20 years, the story of the state of Florida has been a really simple one. People come here. But new census numbers suggest that that story is changing, and not in the way you might expect. Florida added just over 200,000 residents last year. That's down from nearly 600,000 at the peak, about 551 people a day. That's down from 1,600 a day. With births and deaths nearly even, migration is essentially the only growth that Florida has to count. Hillsborough and Pinellas both showed negative population growth. Inland, Pasco posted the state's second highest gains, and Polk the nation's top 5 gains. Researchers say that one reason stands above the rest for all this inland county growth, and that's that housing prices are significantly more affordable. Cesar, I'd like to start with you. So many folks talk about there is no personal income tax here in the state of Florida. That's always been a big reason. The sunshine as well. What's changing internally?
Well, there's a couple things that are changing. We are very, very resource rich in Florida. Tampa, Orlando, Miami, if you put them economic together, they're one of the top 10 mega regions in the world, competing with the likes of like a Singapore, which is strange because we don't even have the infrastructure to support it. So we have this organic approach to growth. But here's the challenge. One of the reasons people were coming into these major cities is because we started to diversify our economy, right? At one point, Orlando and Tampa invested heavily in tech, in attracting new technology companies.
In the business sector.
Correct, in the business sector.
Housing has not kept up.
Right, and I'll get to the housing part. But first, let me get to the capital and money part, because first you need money to buy a house.
Right.
So when that happened, is you allowed for new entrants into the economy. Let's take tech, for instance. I started my firm right around the tech boom of Tampa, Orlando, Miami. And my first clients were tech companies, startups, right? Tech policy, because I saw that there was an avenue for me to service these individuals. And when I talk to other entrepreneurs, there's a downstream effect of professional services, legal, attorneys, lobbyists, right? Housing comes, construction costs. But now we're getting constrained because we have stopped attracting a lot of these newer companies. And so when you stop doing that, then the capital isn't flowing as much, and it becomes very difficult to live in Tampa and in St. Pete. And so you're starting to see people going to areas like Polk County, right? Where it's a bit more affordable, but then something happens. You move out to Polk County, you're away from like the central areas of the economy, and you start telling yourself, I can live anywhere, right? If I can work from home, I can live anywhere. And then so you're starting to see these tensions kind of play out. And like I was joking in the green room, I went to go buy pancakes, and before I knew it, my receipt was $200, right?
I think they're all moving to Polk County because of Sheriff Grady Judd. But no, seriously, I take a little bit more of an elementary, simplistic view of growth. I'm a native Floridian. I hate the size of our state because it's been so mismanaged, because we elect elected officials that don't give us what we need, they give us what we want. And here we are talking about stadium improvements to the Bucs Stadium where the Lightning play, building a stadium for the Rays, and yet we have a 40-year backlog in the city of Tampa alone of street repaving. And our elected officials are really not to blame, because they're giving us what we tell them that we want, not what we need. There's no leadership. Nobody's saying, hey, I know you want a new stadium, but let's fix the potholes first. Let's give our teachers a raise, those kinds of things.
And journalists have been covering stories of the affordable housing crisis
and
for
I would just say that Pinellas is #2 drop in population in the whole entire country, according to the U.S. Census, to Los Angeles. Miami, #3, by the way. So it's not in the Tampa Bay area where we're losing population here. Yeah.